What's up, Future Soldiers? Staff Sergeant Muller here, and it's Friday. That means it's another safety brief day, but I'm gonna do things a little bit different this time. So instead of talking to you with like some scripted talking points, I'm just gonna talk to you about something that was particularly important to myself. What we're gonna talk about today is weight management. And for me, this was a big obstacle coming into the Army. So before I actually joined, I was about 300 pounds. And I was just in a bad place in my life. I wasn't eating right. I didn't have time, so I was always going to fast food. I was just all over the place. And when I did buy groceries, it was almost always junk food because it lasts forever and I can just take it and go. And that just led to me gaining more weight, and I wasn't working out, and I just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Before I joined the Army, and when I talked to my recruiter, he was honest with me. He was real. He told me straight up that I had to lose the weight in order to join. So for me, before I could even join, I had a lot of work to do. I worked for about 6 months before I met the weight requirements, and even then, I got in because I met the measurement requirements. I could not lose enough weight in a healthy way in time for me to meet the requirements that like the goals that I had set for myself. So for me, it was particularly challenging. I hadn't played any sports, I hadn't done anything active, I was just working all the time. My jobs weren't physically demanding. So luckily I had an awesome recruiter who was willing to help motivate me, give me a workout schedule, and these are all recommendations. He 100% made it clear that no matter what he told me or what advice he could give, that it does not and it will not replace that of a professional medical doctor. So you as a future soldier, you've already met that requirement. You've either met the weight requirement or met the measurement requirement that indicates your approximate body mass index or your body fat content. You need to meet that requirement in order to go to basic training, get your job training, and start your new path. So all the way up until the day that you leave for basic training, you still need to meet those requirements. So if you need to gain weight, if you need to lose weight, or if you need to maintain your weight, always follow the sound advice of a medical professional. Now, what worked for me will not necessarily work for everyone else, but these are good tips that will help you kind of just stay on track. And I think that ultimately, you know your body. You know how you react to different types of foods, you know how you react to exercise, so it's ultimately up to you to measure where you're at. But one way that you can make sure that you are on track the whole time is by checking your weight regularly. And this doesn't mean that you have to go to the doctor all the time and get weighed on their super awesome and incredibly accurate scales. You can, purchase a pretty inexpensive scale and step on that to give yourself some good indicators on where you are at generally. They're not 100% accurate 100% of the time, but they're pretty good indicators. So you can use those to kind of judge where you're at, see how you're doing, day to day, week to week. Your recruiting station also has a height chart and a scale for you to hop on and check those measurements for you. And if you need to be measured for BMI, like I did, they are able to assist with that and make sure that the measurements are exact. So the first general tip is just that, making sure that you check your height and weight regularly. That goes all the way up to, just you going into the recruiting station or setting up an appointment at this particular juncture in life. You have to call ahead and make sure that you are good to go so that someone will be at the office to take those measurements, both your weight, your height, and if you need those BMI measurements as well. Another good piece of advice is to maintain a healthy diet. And I feel like this is just good advice for life. Now, this doesn't mean that you go to Whole Foods and spend $500 on a grocery list because, let's face it, all the super healthy foods are super expensive, and I understand that, and I went through that struggle, and I'm still going through that struggle. Are you kidding me? The cost of groceries is crazy. You as an adult, as a person who is about to be a soldier, need to take responsibility for your diet now. That means that maybe you don't go out to eat very often. Maybe that means that when you do go out to eat, you are picking things that are lower calories or smaller portions. Everyone's a little bit different. So just make sure that you are eating the appropriate kinds of foods in the appropriate portions at the appropriate times, and you shouldn't see too terribly much of a fluctuation. Now, tailor that diet to what your objectives are. So if you need to gain weight, maybe you need to eat more calorie-dense food, or maybe you need to eat more carbohydrate-dense foods. So there's a few different methods to kind of get into those grooves, but it's ultimately up to you. And please consult either a medical professional or a dietitian, or if you can't afford that, then do your own research online at your own risk. But it is important to check to see that the diet you're eating, and diet doesn't mean that you're on like a specific program or that you're trying to lose weight. Diet literally just means what you're eating. Make sure that your diet meets the objectives of what you're trying to do. So if you need to gain weight, more calories. If you need to lose weight, less calories. If you're just needing to maintain, just make sure that what you're eating will not dramatically affect your weight one way or the other. Again, falling back to getting measured about once a week just to make sure that everything is staying on track. When things return to normal, you'll have the opportunity to do in-station Future Soldier training. And at that point, you'll be able to get your height and weight done every week. So we now know that we have to track our progress, either going up, going down, or staying the same. We know that we have to maintain a healthy diet. The third thing would be to start doing your exercise regimen. We've already talked about fitness in general in a previous safety brief. I'll have the link to that in the description down below. It's important to maintain that regimen so that you're preparing your body for the physical strain that it's going to go through at basic training, because it's not a cakewalk. It's not super easy, but you don't have to be, Rambo either. So it's important to establish a workout regimen so that you can prepare for basic training, get your body in a good place, and it also helps with that weight management that we were talking about. So if you need to lose some weight, cardiovascular exercise is actually pretty good for that. Everything from going on fast walks to jogs to runs, swim, bike, shoot, even hiking. You can get a pretty good cardio workout if you're hiking in some rougher terrain. Just make sure that when you're working out, you're doing it safely in a controlled manner. If you're looking to gain weight and you are working out, try focusing more on muscle building exercises such as lifting weights or body weight workouts that build muscle mass using just your own body weight. You have to do it safely. And if you're in the clear and you don't have to, increase or decrease your weight in order to maintain or meet the weight requirements, and you're just you're plain good to go, getting yourself in the habit of working out regularly will help you beat the stressors at basic training and at job training at AIT. So, getting an established workout regimen now puts you in the mindset, gets your body physically used to strain, and is just all in all a good thing for you. All right, so we know we need to check ourselves regularly. We need to watch what we eat, and we need to start working out a little bit. That should help you maintain, lose weight, or gain weight, depending on what your objectives are, in a safe and controlled manner. Do your research, ask medical professionals, and always consult your recruiter for further guidance as well. We're here to help you guys, and I think that I speak for everyone in the recruiting force when I say we 100% want to make sure that you're doing everything in a safe and controlled manner. I can't say that enough, you guys. Safe and controlled, that way you're not hurting yourself, you're not causing internal injuries, external injuries, or setting yourself up for failure further down the road. Find ways to challenge yourself and try to get out there, get active, just keep pushing towards those goals. If I can do it, if I can defeat those goals at 300 pounds and get all the way down to where I am today and I'm still losing weight, you can absolutely do it. If I can do it and I had no drive, you can do it. If you need help, if you need that motivation, reach out to your recruiting team. Reach out to that office, and always check us out on our socials. Maybe you can ask us some questions. Maybe we can help you out. We're more than happy to answer questions as they come up. All right, Future Soldiers, that wraps it up for me here. So stay safe, stay motivated, and stay healthy, all right? We'll catch you out there. All right, here we go. All right, how do I want to do this? Okay. It's probably fine. Bam! What's up, Future Soldiers? Staffs. Blah! What we're gonna talk, in order, gosh. What else we got? All right, well that wraps it up for us.